Well, we're back again. This is volume 2 of the outtakes of my new album, The First and Last Freedom. I've done a volume 1, which was the first side, and this is going to be the second side of the album, and the sequencing is different to what the album is. I found some incredible mixes and strange demos and preludes to what the record was going to be on my hard drive, and I thought it would be fun to do a couple of podcasts, a bit like behind the scenes, how the tracks were developed. You're going to hear some performances for some of the players, which I was very excited to find. Anyway, let's start moving on. If this was side 2 and a different kind of sequence, and I'm looking at vinyl albums, side 1, side 2, 5 tracks on each side, I would be starting side 2 today with a song called Your Whole Heart. Your Whole Heart was written about Jimmy Copley, and a drummer that I worked with in the House of Stone and Light album back in the 90s. And unfortunately, he succumbed to a disease, leukemia, before he was able to play on this album. I'd sent him the backing track for this song to help him get out of hospital. We all thought he was going to make it. So it's a very special song to me. The words weren't written when I sent him the demo. The words were completed after we lost Jimmy. And he gave me a phone call the night before he passed, and he was so brave. I remember I was driving over Mulholland Hill late at night, and suddenly the phone rang, and it was Jimmy calling me from the hospital saying that he loved working with me, he loved me, and he was calling all the musicians to say goodbye to them. And he was incredibly brave, and he told me that music is the medicine of life and full of love. And so when I wrote the words, it was really about Jimmy's strength and the incredible bravery he showed. When he was speaking to me that night, it was his whole heart. There were no masks. It was the truth. And so when I finished the song, I wrote the words thinking about him and all those people that are suffering from a terminal illness and have to be so brave. That's the story of Your Whole Heart. Now, this rough mix I'm going to play you was very early on. I had started to get my lead vocals together, but actually Jimmy's best friend was a guitarist called Neil Taylor. And Neil played some extraordinary guitars on the album. And you're going to hear Neil's guitars here before I arrange them. And some of his stuff is beautiful. You're also going to hear my fretless bass playing, which is not really featured a lot on the record, but you're going to hear a lot of it here because I was learning it. And you get a sense of the track. Let me play you this rough because you do get a feeling of where the song brewed up from. And Neil Taylor's guitars are really quite extraordinary. Again, remember, they're not arranged yet, and so it's really just his performance being purely live, and I would work on that later. And you'll hear my fretless bass playing. Here we go with Your Whole Heart. your whole heart. beneath the skin. Take my hand and we will win. Day by day, night by night, all together we will fight. Your whole heart beating hard against the dawn. For there's a truth beneath. That was interesting to listen to for me because none of the guitars are organised and we're all overplaying. Even with a fretless bass, it had to be organised. But that's one of the very, very early rough mixes that I made after Neil had been in the house playing guitar, and I was also the fretless bass. Everything's been overplayed. There are mistakes and all those kinds of things, but that's how I like to listen to sub mixes, to see that some of the mistakes and some of the guitars playing against each other, you might not just comp one performance, you might comp two that just pass each other, and you get some beautiful harmonies. That was the stage where we really didn't have any live drums yet. That was just an Oberheim drum machine. Moving on to a later stage of Your Whole Heart, it was great to send this rough to PJ Moore, Paul Joseph Moore in Glasgow, the Blue Nile keyboard player, and he sent back some really, really fine keyboard arrangements and interesting sounds. And I'm going to play that to you now. No guitars are in this mix. It's a sub mix, so I can just hear what PJ has sent me from Glasgow. And he's doing a little bit of bass synthesizer, little notes that are popping in, and also some beautiful strings. He's augmenting my own chords with suspensions and making it very, very interesting and emotional. So let me just play you this submix, this rough mix of Your Whole Heart with PJ Moore from the Blue Nile, the keyboards he sent to me. You can hear how the octaves are getting just a little bit higher with what PJ had sent me. Those strings are just augmenting and touching a height, and beautiful choices of notes as always from PJ, and that wonderful little synth bass line with delay on it. Very, very, very cool. And he also sent me something which I didn't expect, which was a drum rhythm. I didn't ask for that, but he programmed a terrific drum loop that was featured on the end of the song, and I want to play that to you now. Check out how this drum machine starts to bubble up from Glasgow.
Beneath your skin, together we will win. Day by day, hour by hour, and hand in hand, we'll find the power.
Great little skip rhythm, and I noticed with this mix my bass is coming in. I did a stereo bass left and right, and it's just pumping there, and really towards the end of the song it really sort of started to roll, and this whole subliminal rhythm, a great driving song I think, started to actually take place. And this leads me on to the end of Your Whole Heart. I had Trevor Thornton playing drums. He took the seat when Jimmy couldn't arrive. And he really sort of saw the drums at the end of this track very different. And I had a sense that it was going to sort of come from the distance and start subliminally moving us at the end. So he played this with a kind of brushes, very delicate. I'm not sure what the name is for the brushes, but he was sort of touching the toms and the snare very delicately, and yet he's moving his kick drum at the same time, and it really was really effective in the sense that you wouldn't know it was happening, but you would feel it. I just want to play you what Trevor did on the end, and you'll get a sense of this onrush from a lower level starting to push you on. As I say, I could imagine this being a great driving song. So this is the section where Trevor, with his live drums, starts to add to the percolation.
Against the dark, but there's a truth beneath your skin. Together we will win. Day by day, hour by hour, and hand in hand, we'll find the power. Your whole heart, how big it is, who you are, day by day, night by night, hand in hand, we will. I can see your whole heart, how brave it is in the dark.
I was very pleased to find that rough mix here, this sub mix on my hard drive. That is Neil Taylor again, loads of guitars. I think he played about 6 guitars, and we've left them all in there, and I would arrange them later. But my stereo bass, if you've got headphones, put the headphones on, I mean, and you'll hear left and right bass pumping there with Trevor's drums, and his drums are just pumping us along with these brushes. He's just sort of pushing us with the basses I've got in stereo. I love the way that the track started to come out of the mist and start to move you rhythmically towards the end of the song. And I think, isn't that wonderful that it's Jimmy Copley's best friend, Neil Taylor, playing guitar on Your Whole Heart, which is dedicated to Jimmy. There we go, a few rough mixes of how that song came about. Now, this is a new sequence of this album for me, First and Last Freedom, on side 2. Where would I go now? I would go to a song called Simplicity. And what a thrill to work again with the great Ray Parker Jr. If you know my history, when I arrived back in the 80s into LA, within 2 weeks, I was playing keyboards on Ghostbusters. My manager, Dan Poncher, who worked with Ray Parker, got me to meet him, and myself and Brian Fairweather, my partner in my band Q-Phil, we contributed music to Ghostbusters. And here I was with Ray Parker at his house, in his studio. And when I told him I was making an album, he said, I want to play on it. And so, how wonderful is that after all the years? I want to play you a submix, a rough I took away from Ray Parker's studio of the song Simplicity. And he played about 4 guitar parts. And if you know Ray Parker's history, you know he's playing guitars with Stevie Wonder and Boss Skaggs and the Toto Boys, and just a ridiculously good funky player. So let me play you. The guitars you're going to hear are Ray Parker Jr., and it's his first performances. He listened to it, played it through once or twice, and then off we went. So you're going to hear the raw guitars that actually made it to the record. I did a little bit of arranging with them, but here's Ray Parker playing on Simplicity.
It's just the way you move me, the way you are. I tell you honestly, simplicity. I feel it in your melody. Love and life, pure, easy and free. I don't wanna go living life this way and running with the right race, crushing my soul, breaking me down, walking through the city in this troubled state. I have to let you know, baby, simplicity. I feel it in your message, a healing rain running through my veins. Simplicity, it's just the way you make me feel each day, easy, real and free. Everything is sweet, everything's a deal. Pressure on the mind, pressure got me down. Talking so fast, confusing my soul. I only find peace when we're alone. Simplicity is just there in your makeup, like falling rain flowing in my veins. Simplicity.
That's a raw board mix that I took away from Ray Parker's studio. And you can hear how funky he is and all those little great kind of Philadelphia touches, such sweet soul. And I remember that he had his Stratocaster ready, and he had an amp already set up in the room with the right microphones, and that's the way he worked. He just plugged in, listened to the song once or twice, and off we went. It was really, really soulful to have Ray play on Simplicity. And I'm going to play you now something I'm really pleased to find, because this is the original demo that I wrote and I sent to Jimmy Copley with phonetic vocals. Not all the vocals are right here. These are keys to me that I'm going to eventually make the sound of the vocals fit words. As I've said before, the sound and the performance means more to me than sometimes the lyrics do. So this is the original demo that I sent to Jimmy when he was in hospital in London as a kind of impetus to help him get into a good vibe and get out of the hospital. His girlfriend said, do some demos for him, he'll be lifted. So I want to play this to you. And remember, the vocals are phonetic. It's really, you'll see that I'm getting clues to what the lyrics will be. None of the musicians are on here. This is just the demo.
Simplicity, I feel it in your message, the way you read on through my veins. Simplicity, it's just the way you make me feel each day long and blue and free. Everything they say, everything I see, from the mind pressure move me round, talking so fast, making my falling down the line, blood is spotting cool. Simplicity, it's just the way you make up, falls in the rain, oh, then in my veins. Simplicity, it's just the way you make me feel every day, cold and right free.
I hope you found that interesting. For me, the vocal performance, when you're in the mood and you're doing a really sort of soulful vocal and you're lost in it, that's when I like to keep the actual performance. And then it's about constructing words. Because usually when you do a vocal like this, you're getting loads of clues. You're very near to what the song is. The sensibility of the song is appearing. And sometimes when you've written the lyrics before you sing a song, you're concentrating on the lyrics. And I like to concentrate more on performance and spirit and soul and the, I would call, mystical performance attitude, and then listen to how you've performed out of your skin, possibly, and see if any of it makes sense. So that was the demo, the original of Simplicity. And you might find this interesting. I found this on the hard drive as well, regarding Simplicity. I've done the vocal now, and I've inlaid the right lyrics, a lot of those phonetic vocals you heard. Now it's onto the bass part. I might have had a guide bass, but this is when I was trying to think about how the bass should really be. And I was thinking about Verdine White, the bass player with Earth, Wind and Fire. I'd got to know him working with Earth, Wind and Fire, and I thought, I wonder how he would maybe attempt this song. I have a beautiful Pro 2 Aria bass, and I started to play that. It's you might not hear it too clear, but you might. The bass is a little bit higher than what it is on the record. So this is me actually getting the bass line together, and the lead vocal is finished. Give it a listen.
Crushing my soul, breaking me down, walking through the city, in this troubled state I have to let you know. Simplicity, I feel it in your message, the healing rain running through my veins. Simplicity, it's just the way you make me feel each day easier. so fast, confusing my soul. I only find peace when we're alone. Simplicity is just there in your makeup, like falling rain flowing in my veins. Simplicity, it's just the way you make me feel every day, easy, real and free.
I was trying to get the bass feel lyrical. Average White Band, you know, Al Green, and as I said, Birdie and White, and a lot of that lyrical bass that is always moving but still keeping the rhythm. I had to be very, very careful because the basis of the demo is a sequencer bass, and it's chugging along there. So the bass line had to sort of weave in and out of that sequencer bass. But that is simplicity. And where would we go now with the new sequence? Well, I think we would stay more in that R&B vein. I wasn't sure I was going to put this song or Simplicity on the album. This is a song called Little Bird. I thought possibly Simplicity and Little Bird were just a little bit away from what this album was about, but I was wrong. My manager, Diane Poncher, said, you need this sunlight, you need this burst of energy, and to take people away from the deeper elements and set them free and then bring them back again. And I was very lucky to have Ray Parker play on this song as well. I chose Simplicity and Little Bird for Ray to play guitar on because that's his forte, and we were only one day in his studio at his house, and I thought, let's just give him two songs, but let's give him the songs that really I think he could excel on. And so, he pulled out some amazing guitar playing on Little Bird 2. This is the rough mix I took away from his studio. He's playing the sort of James Brown rhythm right from the top, and I only use that at the end. And I'd done that rhythm as well on the demo. I'd sort of hinted at that, and so he joined me with this bop, 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 with a triplet feel. Very James Brown vibe in a way. But also the little guitar licks he's doing around the edges are just supreme. So this is a very, very rough board mix from Ray Parker's studio. I think I brought it home and did another mix here to clarify the guitars. But let's stay in that same place so you can hear up loud the great funk of Ray Parker on Little Bird.
She's dancing
you Ray Parker Jr. What a gentleman. All the years I've known him, he is just a gentleman of rock and funk and soul, and what a player. This song, Little Bird, we had if you know the album, there's horns on the album. There's no horns at this stage yet. And also, I had trouble arranging it. It was just a groove, and I thought, how the hell do I arrange it? And then my manager, Diane Poncher, got involved, thank goodness, and she really arranged this song. She got a sense of how it could go. When you've got a groove like this that goes on for 6 minutes, you're not sure how to develop it sometimes. And Diane, who was working with the management of Ray Parker and Prince and Earth, Wind and Fire, totally had an understanding of what this song was about. She really did always push me to put this on the album, and she was right. I'm going to play you now when Diane came to my home studio and she arranged the background vocals, and she sang on it with me, and incredible. I mean, she knocked this groove into some kind of structure. And I'm going to play you now some of her vocals. I mixed her a little bit louder than me in this rough mix so we could hear what she was doing, but she was coming up with some great harmonies, some great parts. So this is a rough mix when Diane was in the home studio and arranging Little Bird and singing like a little bird. Thank you, Diane Poncher, not only a manager, but also a Little Bird singing and arranging. And even at that part there where you can hear that there was going to be a solo by the horn player, the great Gary Meek, she chose that area and said that's where the solo should be, because I had no idea at all. And that brings me on to Gary Meek, this wonderful, wonderful sax player that Bobby Summerfield, who was recording the live drums, when he heard Little Bird, he said, you need a sax player. And I said, yeah, but like Junior Walker, funky, like Junior Walker, Roadrunner. And he said, I am just the guy. I went to a club and watched Gary Meek play, and I thought, oh yes, this is going to be cool. And Gary took my song to his own home studio, and he recorded a horn arrangement. He wasn't sure if there could be trumpets involved or just himself doing the harmonies, but he kept it just to him and the saxophone. And I'm going to give you a little treat here. I just want you to hear the great tone of Gary Meek. This is what he sent me, and this is his sax soloed. Just listen to his feel, his tone. Just going to play you a little bit of this so you can get a feel of how rich and funky and what a great tone Gary Meek gave me. The sassiness, the swing, the funk, the soul. Gary Meek, thank you very much. I just wanted you to hear, you know, that the great tone he had and how rich it was. And in the track, it just swings with my lead vocal. When you listen to the record again and you listen to the finished mix, you can hear how Gary has really worked very carefully around my lead vocal. That is a sign of masterful achievement. And before we leave Little Bird, I just want to play you two snippets here, which I think you'll find very interesting. It's the drummer, Trevor Thornton. When we knew Jimmy couldn't come across to play on the last 3 tracks, which we were hoping he could do, Trevor said, send me the demos tonight. And I sent him the new songs we had, but that we weren't going to use with Jimmy. And one of them was Little Bird, and Trevor scored it out and learnt it overnight with 2 other songs. Pretty phenomenal. I'm going to play you the demo that I did with just the drum machine. And then I'm going to play you Trevor, who gets on top of that drum machine and gives us that live feel. So this first snippet is just going to be the drum machine I programmed, and it's got a kind of 40s, 50s, 60s kind of swing, old swing, and Trevor I should play after. But this is first the original demo with the drum machine.
She's dancing in New Orleans tonight. I'm looking for my little bird. We're gonna get so high tonight. I'm looking for my little bird. She's dancing in New Orleans tonight. I'm looking for my little bird. We're gonna fly so high tonight.
So that's the original demo with the drum machine on Little Bird. And now let me play you the mighty Trevor Thornton performance on this track. And I always like to keep a bit of the drum machine in a lot of my songs beneath the drummer. But just listen to the great energy he brings to it. And also Bobby Summerfield that was recording his live drums at Bobby's studio. But this is what Trevor adds.
I'm looking for my little bird. We're gonna fly so high tonight. She's got rings on her fingers that are flat like wings. She's my wild thing. I'm looking for my little bird. I'm looking for my little bird. She's got rings on her fingers that flash like wings. Feathers in her hair like a wild thing. I'm looking for my little bird. She's dancing in New Orleans tonight.
the eternal swing of Trevor Thornton. It takes a drummer, a great drummer, a really great drummer, to be able to work with clicks and on top of already a drum loop like that and be as tight as that, but also as loose as that. I've worked with Trevor right since, I suppose, the late 70s, so we've been together a long time, and he lived just around the corner and we're still working together. Very fortunate to have Trevor around me and to be playing on this album throughout. And you can hear there. I just wanted you to hear the way a song starts. And what's always been wonderful in my career with my songs is Trevor allows me to use the drum machine beneath and around him and integrated in his work. And then he still brews up something as wonderful as that. So on side 2, what was the song I would put next? Well, it would be a song called Black Sun. And a lot of you out there that know my work, I do love reggae. It's very unusual for me not to have a reggae track somewhere or ensconced and hidden in one of my albums. And Black Sun is one of those tracks. I found the original demo, the day one demo, the day I wrote it, which is amazing that in my mind, that I keep everything right from the beginning. No wonder I have 2,300 hard drives and 1,200,000 cassettes and 1 trillion CDs. But this is day one, and you can hear from the drum machine that this thing is bubbling and percolating. Now, I mentioned Diane on Little Bird. Well, she was around the house when I was writing this, and she came in and said, I like that. I quite like that. And I went, okay, why don't you join me on it? And she had a background vocal idea, and you'll hear her singing with me, the kind of da 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 da. It's like a horn thing she sings with me, and I'm phonetic vocals again. I really don't have any lyrics here, and I'm singing it falsetto, which is unusual for me. I've done it before, most noticeably with Soul Print, I think, on the Temper Peace album. And you'll hear that this is brewing into something which might be a kind of reggae African kind of track. Eventually, when the song lyrics were finished, and I, again, over 3 months, lie on a carpet trying to make the phonetic vocals work with real lyrics, I realised that I was writing a song about a gentleman, and his name was Hugh de Montalbert. I think I'm saying the name right, Hugh de Montalbert. He was a French artist who I saw a documentary on a DVD. His house was broken into and some thieves threw acid into his face and blinded him, instantly blinded him. I think he could see light for about one evening, and he saw flashes of light. The great thing about this story was of bravery again, and he tuned himself into his inner senses when he became blind, and he began to travel the world. He even wrote a book and decided that he was going to live his life as best he could. Hard to imagine that, isn't it, being blinded? But he also got in touch with his inner self, and he could, go through airports and meet people and check their souls out and their characters. He just became very alive with different senses. And he also sort of threw away his ego and realized that a lot of the way he was before this happened, he wasn't really awake, which in a way is like a sense of Buddhism was appearing. So I think when I was writing the demo of this subconsciously, because I'd seen this DVD called Black Sun, that I was going to be writing about his story. Anyway, let me play you the raw demo. I think if you know the album, you'll find this really quite intriguing.
On a message
how the hell am I going to slip some lyrics into that? I think I'm looking here at the hard drive, and I called it Soweto or Soweto because I think that's sort of appearing. But a lot of those sounds in there are actually on the record. Can you believe it? And the guitar, it really wasn't reggae. It was kind of a half rock, half Dire Straits, half Primal Scream, half something, and but the drum machine was really hinting at reggae. And Diane's little background vocals there made me sort of feel like this has a African reggae feel to it. Really, the arrangement was bizarre. I saw this track eventually on the album as a player's song, more like an AOR track, a rock track, a track where the players excel. I didn't really think it had the potential to be anything more than that, but I've always loved albums where the players express themselves in a really musical way. I think it could have been arranged differently. I do 3 verses, and I think there could have been 2 when I really listen back. But, it turns into what it turns into. I'm very much into that organic growth thing, and don't chop anything and make too many decisions too soon. So the next thing I'm going to play you is the lead vocal being knocked into shape. It's still the demo. We haven't got any of the musicians involved yet, except for Diane singing with me on the demo. But you'll hear now how I've knocked the words into shape from the mix you just heard before this, which was all a lot of gobbledygook and phonetic vocals. Even when in a place where I said to you thought the song might be called Soweto or Soweto, I've changed that to So Ego. Very, very subtle there, but it's instead of Soweto or Soweto, it's So Ego. So listen to this. This is the mix when the lead vocal took shape, and I was really writing about that gentleman who became blind, that he was dealing with his ego and was seeing from a different place altogether.
I'm a message on the mind of your life. I'm the mirage on the madness blurs the line. I'm so ego, won't you ever get it right? I'm the message on the mirror of your life. I'm the method, hold the mirror to your life. I'm so ego, won't you ever make it right? I'm so shallow in your lust for paradise. I'm the marrow and the fiber of your veins. So addicted to the pleasure of this life. I'm so ego, won't you ever be tonight? Oh, cold summer, oh, I know just the way you hide. I'm fine, darling. Oh, you hurt me. I'll reject you, serves you right.
So Ego, I reject you, it serves you right. As you can hear there with the demo, I was getting the drums together. I was programming a little bit of reggae drums in preparation for the real record, and playing a little bit of reggae guitar I can hear there. I forgot I did that, but that obviously I thought it's about time that you did a bit of skanking. And you can hear there how the words developed from the phonetic vocals. I think that's a pretty fascinating thing because I wanted to keep the tone, the falsetto sound of the original vocals. Now I'm going to play you when Trevor Thornton, the drummer, got involved, and a rough mix with Neil Taylor playing guitar. And his guitars really, I think, made this song because he sort of approached it like a Cajun blues feel, a little bit Little Feet and funky, but also down south, which is great with a reggae feel. I'll play you this rough mix from towards the end of the song so you can hear the finish of the record. And Trevor Thornton starts to double up his kick bass, although he's playing initially a kind of Steely Dan feel, kind of a reggae kick, not always doubling up. And yet you'll hear on the end, we both talked about it, and I said, let's do another take with you at the end, doubling up the kick drum. And I think you can hear how it propels the track at the end. So listen to the musicians here adding to Black Sun. The message and the meaning, it is love behind the black sun. What great playing from Neil Taylor. As I was saying, Cajun, Southern, real blues feel, which was played off, I think, the reggae feel really, really great. And Trevor's drumming, Trevor Thornton there, outstanding. And so, with this new sequence for the First and Last Freedom on side 2 here, I still would have finished with Breathe in My Heart, and that's how I put it on the original album. I always saw it as the last song. So let's have a look at the last song on the record. Let me break it apart for you. This is Breathe in My Heart. And I can't think of a better place to start than listening to a Zulu choir from South Africa. My good friend Bobby Summerfield, who was doing the live drums, said to me, you should get in contact with a wonderful guy called Andy Innes in South Africa. He was the musical director for Johnny Clegg, and it would be great for you to get a kind of Zulu choir involved. And I thought, this does sound pretty amazing for Breathe in Your Heart. So I got in touch with Andy Innes, and we started to talk over the internet, and I sent him the song, and he did a wonderful translation of a lot of my lyrics on Breathe in Your Heart and my scats and my vibe, and translated into Zulu. He totally understood and got the vibe of the song. And then he arranged this Zulu choir. I'm going to mention some of their names. I'll do my best here. Forgive me if I get them a little wrong. Zanel Nakamu, Thabiso Molefe, Monday Matsutwana from Monday Music. Salam Jale. Original Miss Mango. And Zamu Mabutho.
Won't you breathe into moya in my and just walk out of the door. Let the weight of your grief be carried by me. Won't you breathe into moya in my feel my love for shelter where you are. And the pain that you hear will soon disappear, and we'll try give your spirit hold air to breathe, and dark pools in your eyes surrender to light. Won't you breathe in my heart? See the chance I'll take you home. Oh, gentle thought, store the clouds will bring, and a sorrow retreat. Yours I will. Won't you breathe? No, don't fall. Please bring down your home. When I call out your name, I know you'll be brave, and you'll raise yourself up. Real to touch, starlight above, and the war it will end when you let my love in.
That's a rough mix there. Just hearing that wonderful Zulu choir arranged by Andy Innes. And Andy's a great guitarist as well. Just a total musical person. So lovely to have him involved and have his expertise. And you're also hearing in that rough mix my bass actually being worked out. There's no guitars yet and not a lot of keyboards. And we're not really hearing anything but just the feel of my demo with the Zulu singers. And you can also hear Trevor Thornton, his live drums. And one of those songs, again, that we had to record at a late stage when we knew Jimmy Copley wasn't going to come across. Trevor took home the demo one night and just wrote out the parts, came in, and my goodness, you can hear what an extraordinary performance by Trevor Thornton. And I'll mention here the whole soul of the song of Breathe in My Heart. It's really a poem. It's really, if you look at the lyrics, this came out of me like a poem, and I made the poem fit the music, I suppose, but really saying surrender and breathe in my love for you, breathe in my heart. It doesn't often happen to me that you have a lyric which isn't normal in the sense that it's not repeating and revolving in a normal lyric way. This had its own laws. And I'm lucky to find here on my hard drive a small mix here of what we would call the Zulu singers stepping out. Andy sent me some great performances of individual performances of the singers stepping out, giving me scats, giving me feeling and spontaneity. Let me play you the beginning of the song. This is like a rough mix I made to just get a feeling of the Zulu singers and with their step outs, and I could place these step outs anywhere, and they are singing lines which really come from the translation of my lyrics into Zulu, and Andy made it very easy for me to place these individual spiritual scats where I wanted them.
Won't you breathe in my heart and just walk out of the door? Let the weight of your
Bit like a jigsaw puzzle. I was able to bring some of these wonderful outtakes and place them in the song in different places. Mainly I put them at the end of the song. Some of those licks there you'll hear on the record at the end of the song. Now you're going to hear a fantastic guitarist from Canada. Again, it always has to be Canada or Scotland, doesn't it? Maybe Ireland here and there, that Gaelic thing. This is Russell Broom. I sent a few tracks to Russell to his studio in Canada. Does a great thing. He records the same parts through different microphones on different amplifiers, so you get a real choice of sound. And the approach that Russell took, I thought was really interesting on this track. He put a lot of rhythm into the second part of the song, and there's actually a solo, which we don't actually have on the record because we had other things going on, and really great distortion. I'm playing guitar on this track, and so is Bill Dillon, which I will show you later on after this, but just listen to the way that Russell Broom approached Breathe in My Heart.
Won't you breathe in my heart and just walk out of the door? Let the weight of your grief be carried by me. Won't you breathe in my heart? Feel my love offer you shelter where you are. And
That's Russell Broom, award-winning Canadian guitarist. Plays a lot with Jan Arden and is thought, rightly so, as one of Canada's very best. Lovely for me to hear again some of that soloing. Beautiful. Now we're going to go to the rhythm of the whole track, and it's Trevor Thornton. And at the end of the session, I remember us saying all together that we need some tom fills on the fade, like rumbling thunder tom fills. On the record, they are edited a little bit more closely than what you're going to hear here. So we set the toms up and we recorded them separately with more of a room sound. This is when Trevor started to play that kind of thunderous tribal drum rhythm on the end of Breathe in My Heart.
Breathe in my love. Come on. Won't you breathe in my heart? Come on. Won't you breathe in my love?
The rumbling thunder of Trevor Thornton's toms. It was a last-minute thought to do that. If you listen on the record, we've edited them and put them into the song in more of a spacious place. Here we were just recording it all down so we could get a feel for it. And Trevor had played on about 19 songs up to that point, and then I said, let's do some toms. And the young lad had energy to do that. Not bad. That's youth for you. So there were 3 guitarists on Breathe in Your Heart, and I was one of them. But the other guitarist to me and Russell Broom was the incredible, and I have to use that word meaning it, the incredible, unusual, unique guitarist Bill Dillon. Another man up there in cold Canada. What he sent back to me was very warm and hot. What can I say about Bill? I think I've mentioned before, I met him doing the Robbie Robertson album. Daniel Lanois had brought him down, and we really got on. And Bill has played on a few of my solo records. Bill has been playing with Peter Gabriel, Joni Mitchell, and as I said, Daniel Lanois, and many, many, many fine artists. He has this extraordinary way of being lyrical with foot pedals and a device called a guitargan, which is built into his guitar, which is like a Hammond organ pickup, I believe. And so his guitar moves between being an organ and an angelic sound from above the clouds. He's a symphonic guitarist, incredibly melodic. Now, this mix I'm going to play you is a really quite dense and rough and bad mix, but I'm going to play it all the way through. It is the end of the album, and I want you to hear what Bill Dillon sent me, which was, believe it or not, 26 tracks of guitar. I mean, come on. What can a producer do when he gets 26 tracks of guitar? Where do you start? And every track was really quite outstanding. So he made my job very hard. But I'm going to let you hear the rough mix here of all the way through the song. And what Bill sent me. You're going to hear right at the end of the song, the second half, Bill sort of goes into this rock kind of progression. There were 8 guitars that played this kind of riff, half chordal. Has a kind of slight Pete Townsend feel about it. And these 8 tracks I grouped together. Some were in, some were out. But like a great blues singer, they were playing the same thing. And that's how Bill plays. You never get the same thing twice. It is purely art. I make the excuses for this mix, but it is very dense. But you will hear Bill's lyrical guitar poking out, and you'll hear this rhythm, this kind of progression on the second half of the song, which is really quite luxurious. There he is, bending up like angels. Check it out. This is Bill Dillon.
Won't you breathe in my arms and just walk out of the door? Let the weight of your grace be carried by me. Won't you breathe in my arms? Feel my love offer you shelter where you are. And the pain that you need soon disappears, and when trouble give your spirit hold on, air to breathe, and dark pools in your eyes, surrender to life. Won't you breathe?
Well, I did enjoy listening to that after all this time. This album, The First and Last Freedom, very special record for me, been out for a while now, and I just thought it would be great to go back at this time and look at some of the demos, some of the outtakes, some of the preludes, and some of the extraordinary playing of some of the musicians. If you listen to the album finished, you'll hear a lot of what I've played today, and on volume one, mixed in with the balances that I thought really meant something to the project. A lot of the musicians from the 90s that played with me in the House of Stone and Light were involved in this record, and that made it very, very special for me. It'd been a long time since I'd really worked on an album and collaborated with so many performers. That made it a kind of reverence for me, where I wanted all these great players to be heard in the right light. That meant the mixing and the arranging. And as you can hear, the construction, the building blocks of this record took a long time, but it always comes down to the songs. And I felt with this album, The First and Last Freedom, I'd got it right. I did feel that the songs that were inspired by the passing of Jimmy Copley and the whole situation of where that took me in a creative way, I think I found a consistency, a whole album that stuck together well. And I think vocally I was performing it a little bit out of my skin, which is a nice thing to be happening at this stage. Let's go out on the last song, Breathe in Your Heart, with the great Bill Dylan's guitars. Thanks for joining me.